The Thundermans is a sitcom created in 2013 about a family of superheroes. The show was created by Jed Spingarn, who's worked on various Nickelodeon shows, but his work shows up most predominantly in Jimmy Neutron and Big Time Rush. Now, I haven't watched much of Spingarn's other work, but one thing I can tell you about the Thundermans, it sucks balls. Now, I already know what you're thinking after I've said that. Miles, is it really that bad?
If you ever do that again, I'm gonna kill your parents, and I know where they live.
Now, all jokes aside, I probably have more of a personal vendetta against this show than anything else. It's more just painfully average rather than actually being completely horrible. But I do still think it's really, really bad. This is because the main thing it has to get right, which is the jokes, because it's a situational comedy, it fails at, and it is filled to the brim with tropes that have been done a million times over in other sitcoms. Don't believe me? I'll show you right now. The fat, goofy dad. The mom who loves her kids a little bit too much sometimes. The good girl who's very focused on always doing the right thing. The bad boy who's kind of a jerk, but in the inside, he's really a good guy. The dumb one. The dumb one. The dumb one. Why? Who keeps what? Why are we doing this? I hope you get my point. Now, I'm not trying to say that just because it's been done before you can't try it again. But if you can't bring anything interesting or funny to these tropes that have been done over and over again, maybe you should try something else. Now, sadly, I feel like the only way to best articulate my point is by taking a deeper dive into specific episodes. So we're gonna do that, but only with the episodes that actually affect continuity, because otherwise this is gonna take way too long to do, and I refuse to watch so much of the show.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life! Oh, get it away from me, man!
We're starting with Season 1, Episode 1, Adventures in Super Sitting. So we start off with them all getting sat down for family dinner, and whoa, so funny, superpowers, haha.
Thunderman, away!
That is never not funny.
Well, at least they find their own material funny. Hey, gotta have confidence in your own stuff, right? Phoebe just set up some sort of girls' night with her best friend Cherry, and now Max walks in, and Phoebe's like, he's evil, and then Max is like,
Come on, sis, you're my twin. Where's the love?
The love died when you beheaded my dolls when we were 5.
Oh, yeah. Totally worth it.
what an asshole. So, as it turns out, Phoebe and Max's parents are actually going out for a date night, so they have to stay home and babysit, and they're all like, what? No, I don't want to babysit, no. And then the parents are all like,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
How can I become the world's greatest supervillain if I have to babysit Zippy and Laser Girl? Wait a minute. You guys are way too cool for babysitting.
you know, just because you're standing like a foot or two away from them doesn't mean they can't hear you, right? So now Max has devised some sort of plan to have Billy and Nora help him in some sort of scheme he's cooked up. Max also convinces Phoebe to invite Cherry over to the house instead of having a girls' night out. And you're about to see why this makes no sense.
I'll be right back. Don't touch anything.
Right. Let's start stuff. Yeah.
Really, nigga?
Okay, who wants to help me carve my initials in the moon?
So this whole scheme you made up was just so you could put your initials on the moon? Why was it even necessary to try and convince Phoebe to invite Cherry over? I know it wasn't just to get Phoebe in trouble. It's made clear that they'd all be punished if a non-soup was brought into the house. It seems like you're just adding unnecessary risk to your plan. So now Cherry's here, and Phoebe and Cherry start doing teenage girl things, I guess. Meanwhile, Max is finished with his little plan involving Billy and Nora, and now his siblings have nothing to do. So Max gives him this box full of junk that he has just laying around, and one of the things they grab is this thing called a nose hairalizer or whatever. Boy, I sure hope nothing goes wrong with that. So anyway, something goes wrong with that. They come running up the stairs and start shooting the thing everywhere. And like an idiot, Phoebe starts using her powers. So yeah, now Phoebe's friend Cherry knows, and she freezes her in the heat of the moment because she cannot think of an explanation. If their parents find out about this whole incident, they'll have to move again. And Max doesn't want this, so they're all working together, even though Max is a bad guy or whatever. Oh man, it sucks that we have to move. If only there was a way I could have prevented this.
You two are going to work together?
Let's get packing.
How funny.
I feel a smirk coming on. Oh yeah. There it is.
Phoebe puts together this whole plan to make Cherry think that she didn't see superpowers or anything, but these two dumbasses mess it up in like 5 seconds after she does it.
I'll cut them in squares.
I'm kind of retarded.
So they freeze Cherry again and start thinking about a new plan, but then, uh-oh, now the parents are back. Also, by the way, Jesus, Max must be yoked because he carried around a full-grown human woman who's encased in ice like it was nothing. Now they have to move Cherry all around the house because their parents keep seeming like they're gonna go every which way. This whole bit comes to an end once their parents find out what's really going on, and uh-oh, now we gotta move. That's so sad.
Come on, man. Come on, dog.
So Max kind of stands up for Phoebe and all his siblings in general. It was like, please don't make us move. Then their dad's like, alright, we won't move if you guys can figure out a way to fix this. And then...
So if you're ever in space, drop by and visit our place. Ask for the cannibal squeeze.
So yeah, they act as if what she saw was all just a part of a play. Again.
You know what these need? Macadamia nuts.
Let me guess, you're gonna fly all the way to Hawaii and get...
Thunderman, away!
Why does it say Nora rules on the moon?
Nora!
Wow, what great callbacks. So yeah, that was the first episode and it was absolutely draining. Let's see if season 2 episode 12, Meet the Evil Mans, fares any better. This episode starts off at a restaurant called Splat Burger. Food comes out of tubes and crap, it's gross, haha funny. Max is making fun of Phoebe for not using her powers in public, and then when she does, somebody catches her. So yeah, she's freaking out and they're making a couple... Wait a minute, Why is he looking at her like that? I think the emotion he was going for was confusion and unsureness, but it came out more as stalkerish and creepy. Quick side note, speaking of using superpowers in public, it is kind of funny how they always do it a lot, but nobody ever happens to see it. Not saying that's why you should hate the show, just saying it's kind of weird. Anyway, as it turns out, this guy also has superpowers, and after they meet him, they go home and search him up on some sort of superhero database and find out that he's the son of Evil Man. Hey look, one of the creators on the show let his friend try out his Photoshop skills. What a nice guy. Max and Phoebe's dad is Thunderman, and Thunderman's greatest enemy was Evil Man. Their dad also makes it clear in this scene that anything relating to Evil Man is pretty much forbidden from the house. By the way, Phoebe has a bit of a crush on Evil Man's son, whose name is Link, and he's actually kind of like a good guy and stuff. She even planned a date with Link, but she decided to cancel it since he turned out to be Evil Man's son. But then Max took Phoebe's phone without her knowing, and he texted Link for her. By the way, he didn't do this out of the kindness of his heart or anything. He did it because he wants Evil Man's base. An ice base. Ooh, those are the best kind. Anyway, Link shows up later, and he brings this ketchup bottle for Phoebe as a present, because like that's how they met and everything. And now I'm no expert on gift giving nor on dating, but isn't that the kind of gift you'd give someone for like an anniversary for sentimental reasons? Like, this is from the day we met, not to someone you just met like earlier that day or the day before or something. Link finds out that Phoebe and Max's dad is Thunderman, but just as Phoebe is trying to have Link leave, her mother comes in and then calls her dad. Their dad comes rushing down like Sonic and decides that he wants to see if Link is good enough for Phoebe. They go outside to check out his car, and boy does this have vibes of a horror movie. While Link and Hank are talking, Link mentions that he has a GPS system that alerts his dad to his exact location if something goes wrong. Max pushes the button that activates this system so he can meet Evil Man. So not too long after that, Evil Man comes to their house and all the kids are like, oh geez. But it's all good because Evil Man and Thunderman don't seem to actually recognize each other until...
I know that laugh. You're Evil Man. You're Thunderman.
You guys gonna have a little kiss? They figure out who each other are, and then Evil Man is asked to leave the house. Or he decides to leave. Whatever, whichever you want to go with. So Phoebe is then forbidden from seeing Link again. Because of this, later on, Phoebe asks Max to cover for her when she sneaks out so she can see Link again. He lies to her and says that he will so he can rat her out so he can try and meet Evil Man again.
Phoebe snuck out to meet Link. What?
That reaction. What? Also, that was a bit of an odd cut. Hank grabs Evil Man and brings him back to the house. Hank gives Evil Man a rundown of what's going on, and then Evil Man decides to use his GPS to track Link.
Thunderman! Away, evil and rise!
Max! Catching the bus!
I never get to do stuff like this. I always have to pretend to be normal when I'm out.
I know, normal's so boring.
Yes, I hate having to be one of these normal peasants. Hank and Evil Man find Phoebe and Link, but then proceed to get into an argument and grab the tubes in the restaurant and start shooting them at each other. This whole bit comes to an end when Hank decides to put down his tube, and Evil Man decides to shoot him anyway, but Phoebe decides to use her telekinesis to move the tube into hitting Max. Then Hank and Evil Man just start, like, talking to each other and everything.
Since you're old and sleepy, how about you give me your ice base?
Oh, I sold that to open up my mattress store.
It sucks! Blame the shit!
Did we just end a lifelong feud?
I guess we did! Now shut up, end the episode. Now we go into the first 40-minute special. Yay. And this one is entitled A Hero is Born. I wonder what they could mean by that. We start off with this quick-paced intro that's kind of a show of what's to come, but it's kind of dumb and I'll get to why it is later. That little bunny in the cape right there is Dr. Colosso, and the reason he can talk is because he's actually a former villain of Thunderman. He used to be a human, but at some point Thunderman caught him and used an animalizer to turn him into a bunny. Now Colosso lives in Max's room and they're kind of like best friends. He's probably my favorite character in the show. I don't know why he's not super funny, but probably more funny than the rest of the people in here. And I guess I also kind of like the concept for him. But other than that, not much else to offer. We cut to some earlier time before this intro where it's starting off like any normal day. Cherry comes to Phoebe to help calm her nerves because she just got asked out by some guy she likes. Phoebe says she'll go on a double date with Cherry so Cherry will be able to stay calm during the entirety of the day. We cut to the kitchen where we see Barb having random power surges. Because of these power surges, Hank decides to have the Thunder monitor scan her. Once the scan is done, we find out
Congratulations, Barb Thunderman is pregnant.
Oh, he sleep.
Anyway, we find out that superhero babies don't chill out for like 9 months. They're actually born just like within the day. Kind of a dumb idea, but whatever, I'll just keep it going. Phoebe remembers that she promised to go on the double date with Cherry, so she decides that she'll still go and hopes that she'll be able to get back before their mom and dad come back with the baby. Now Max is in his room and he's discovered that Colosso stole the animalizer and was planning to turn himself human.
You were gonna turn yourself back into a human and leave?
I am very concerned by this. Can you not tell because I'm ending every sentence like this? The reason Colosso was planning on doing this was because he won some award for best villain of the decade. Max tells Colosso that he can't do this because if his dad found out that he was human for even 1 second, that Max and Colosso would be split apart. So Max goes to hide the animalizer again and make sure that Colosso can't find it again. So Phoebe's on her double date with Cherry and oh, come on, man, why do you gotta do that? Who even let this guy in with a whole ass blender? What is going on? I swear, the only reason they put this scene in here was so they could do that joke. There's seriously nothing new established by putting this scene here. We already know Cherry needs Phoebe to stay calm. So having Phoebe and Cherry do this whole handshake thing again is just a waste of time.
Wow. Having a baby looks really uncomfortable. I know. The big belly, the swollen feet.
Yeah, and Mom doesn't look too good either.
They're about to go into the van to go to the hospital, and then Barb has another power surge and causes the car to shut down. So now they have to have the baby at the house because they can't get to the hospital in time.
Phoebe? Where's Phoebe?
She went on a date.
A date?
I know, poor guy.
You call her and get her back here right away. We are in labor.
Some niggas, now we going to war.
What do you mean we? Nintendo?
No,
we?
nigga, we as in us. Us.
Anyway, Phoebe has to ditch Cherry because her parents need all the help they can get for the whole labor process. Once Phoebe gets back, she sees that Hank is getting fucking ragdolled by her mom. So they decide to enlist the help of Dr. Colosso, who actually has some sort of medical expertise. I guess the doctor name isn't just for show.
I'm very happy for you.
Thanks.
I was talking to Chloe. I'm happy she looks nothing like you.
Got it!
So after Colosso helped deliver the baby, Max decides that he'll let Colosso go to the Villain League and accept his award. Max turns Colosso human and they head on their way to the league. Once Colosso and Max get there, it's revealed by this guy, King Crab, that they were only invited there so Colosso could be kicked out of the league. To avoid this, Colosso reveals that Max is actually Thunderman's son.
Superhero DNA confirmed.
Superhero DNA confirmed? How do you know it's superhero DNA? Is there a difference between superhero DNA and supervillain DNA? Maybe they just meant superpowered DNA, but if that's what they meant, then that wouldn't prove anything. He could still be some sort of superpowered henchman, or just another supervillain. Why would this prove anything? Why are you so sure that it's Thunderman's son? You guys don't even like Colosso. Why do you believe him? Whatever. Cherry comes to Phoebe and tells her that she's upset about how she got ditched. And then Cherry finds out,
You have a new baby sister and you didn't even tell me?
I'm sorry, but shouldn't you be saying, where did that baby come from? Am I really supposed to believe that you haven't seen her mom within the last 9 months? Especially considering how you just bust into people's houses, you asshole. But Miles, she's the dumb one, so maybe that's why she doesn't bring it up. Except the show just made a joke showing that she understands what sex is. So she understands what sex is, but she doesn't understand that the baby sits inside the mother's body for 9 months. And even if I am to believe that she's so comically stupid that she doesn't understand how any of this works, then I don't think that it's unfair of me to not take this scene very seriously.
What kind of best friends don't tell each other everything?
The kind of best friends who don't want to? Fucking stupid. Anyways, back at the base, Max manages to slip one of his hands out and use his smartwatch to contact Phoebe. How did the villains not know that he had this? I do not know, but somehow he managed to do it. So Phoebe tries to call her dad and finds out that he left his phone at the house. Barb's not waking up anytime soon because after birth, superheroes need like a 12-hour recharge nap. Phoebe decides that she has to go, but of course she can't just bring the baby with her. But how convenient. Cherry's just sitting right on the steps right outside of her house. Why is she just sitting there, you ask?
I'm not allowed to ride my bicycle angry.
Crazy idea, but you could have just walked your bike home. Did you ever think about that? Phoebe gives Cherry the baby and rushes off to the van, but right as she's about to leave...
Get in, Cherry. It's time I tell you everything.
Wait a minute. Did you just take the baby? No, seriously, what are you doing? The whole point of giving her to Cherry was so you wouldn't take her near a bunch of villains. You can't just, like, tell her later or now really quickly and then go?
Still got a thing with the bubble wrap, huh?
Oh, I can't help it. I just love popping stuff. Oh, pop, pop, pop. Poppity pop pop, look at me go!
So we're just gonna pretend like you didn't steal that bubble wrap popping thing from Boyd and Octagon and Ben 10. And you put in Bootleg Serpent, you fuckers. Colosso ended up feeling bad for what he did to Max and decide that he's gonna try and free him. But he ends up getting captured too and getting put up there with Max. Anyways, and now Phoebe is here and oh wow, so badass. They get into a fight and oh my god, is this fighting so uneventful. And by the way, this is how most fight scenes in this show are. One person just jumps around everywhere and uses their superpowers a little bit, and then they just beat the guy. What's that? Also, hey, look at that. Cherry didn't believe Phoebe. That's why she brought the baby inside. Oh no, I was distracted by my friend putting my sister in danger. If only there was a way I could have prevented this.
Say goodbye, Thunder Girl.
Wow, quite the power-up time on that thing. Anyways, Colosso tells Phoebe that King Crab loves popping bubble wrap. So they use Chloe's bubble powers to distract him so they can do this.
Time to burst your bubble.
Oh.
Hey look, that large power-up time just went away. So yeah, they managed to temporarily beat King Crab, but he's able to get out his claw and call for reinforcements and start shutting down the building. So they all start running out and hey, I remember this from the beginning. Yeah, and remember how I said this whole thing was dumb? Well, it is dumb because it's solved in 2 seconds because their dad flies down and beats all the villains in 2 seconds. I hope you weren't too excited to see what happened after this little show of what's to come because nothing happens. So yeah, their dad beats the guys, grabs Colosso, and they all go home.
Max turned Dr. Colosso back into a human. Phoebe told Cherry our family secret, and Nora's been banned from the baby store.
but at what cost?
Yep, that's right.
Correct.
All right, no cost. Hooray!
They take a new family photo and oh thank God it's finally over. But I still have like 5 episodes to go. God damn it.
Damn, where my roof just go, I'm somebody that you should know. Get to shaking something, cause that's what drummer produced it for. Guess I make mistakes that I don't ever make excuses for. Like grieving girls that love me and constantly